Welcome to Work in the Verse. There's more than just Meta VR news. Hey, it's 2023, and guess what we're going to talk about in this episode? That's right, VR headsets. There are a lot coming out this year. In fact, I can think of 7 right off the top of my head. Now, instead of me just doing a laundry list of these, let's go ahead and set up the pricing game. What I want you to do is take a guess how much you think each headset is going to be, and then go ahead and write that in the comments as we go along in the video. Now, let's add some fun to this. Let's have 3 categories. The first category is going to be consumer affordable. This is where it's going to be $600 or less. I know, $600 is definitely still a lot of money, but that category sounds better than the low end, right? The next category is going to be the prosumer. This is the VR headset that's going to be $1,000 and up. This type of headset has the specifications that make you go, wow, that looks really cool. Ooh, I would really like that. And then last but not least, the expensive category. This is where we're looking at headsets that are $3,000 and up. There are a few out there today already, and it looks like there's going to be at least one more to join that elite rank this year. Let's take a look at the first VR headset, the Sony PSVR2. This headset is one that many consumers have been looking at for quite some time. It replaces the PSVR1. The nice thing about this headset, it's already going to be available in just a few weeks. February 22nd is the launch date. Looking at some folks who got the chance to see an early test, early review at CES 2023 said they were quite impressed. They said that the differences from the previous version to this version has made them that much more excited to see what Sony will have to offer this year. Let's go ahead now and look at the next VR headset, and that's the Somnium VR1. The Somnium VR1 is going to be an interesting shift in how VR headset technology works going forwards. This company is being bold. They're trying something brand new. They want to make their headset open source, that they are going to make it possible for people to print their own components as add-ons to the headset. It is hard with VR headsets today to make it work for everyone. So I think it's pretty cool. We'll see if it comes out though. I'm kind of thinking it might not this year because at CES 2023, when asked the price and availability, the company didn't have too much to offer on that. Moving on to the next headset, the Pimax Portal View. Pimax is one of those companies that in the past they have overpromised and underdelivered. So we're going to see if that's going to be true this year or not. And one thing they did, which they've done in the past, is to have a Kickstarter. And the Kickstarter was basically this: if we have enough people who have interest, we'll go ahead and start working on building that device. And just a couple of weeks ago, they actually closed the Kickstarter and they were above and beyond what they wanted to do. So fantastic. It is not just a VR headset. In fact, it has multiple purposes. The first purpose is to be a handheld video game system. It even looks like the Switch. I would call this like the Switch 3.0 because they're doing some really cool things with their controllers and how they interlocked with the system. But then from that concept, what they've done is they said, hey, you can actually plug this into a VR headset lens cover. Oh, wow. And so then you have that, and then it doesn't even stop there. You can even use it in your living room on a television. So that way you can take it with you wherever you go. The HTC Vive XR Elite. Already right there, that title sounds quite impressive, doesn't it? In fact, I would start thinking, which way would I go on this idea and where I'd put it in our pricing? Well, when you take a look at the specs, they are quite incredible, and the design itself is quite revolutionary. What they're doing is they're allowing you to have different setups for the headset. You just don't have to have that classic look. You can actually make it look like it's glasses instead. Now, the advantage of that is if you have prescription glasses, you can actually get away without wearing your glasses, as long as you meet their specifications. The headset that everybody has heard about for several years now. It's Apple's Reality Pro. For the past 3, 4, 5, 10 years, maybe longer, maybe less, they've always been saying, oh, this is the year. This is the year that Apple is coming out with their headset. And they don't. Now, Apple is one of those companies that basically say this: when they're ready, they're ready. This is going to be one of those headsets that could change how we do VR going forwards. Because what we've seen Apple do successfully in years past is that they enter a market and then they own the market. So we've seen that with the phones, we've seen that with their iPads, so on and so forth. And so that's pretty cool to see a company like that get into the mix, because what it could do is help spur competition as we go forward. The next headset I want to take a look at is the Pimax Crystal. This is the second offering that Pimax is going to have. They had a lot of hype for this headset last year. In fact, it was so much hype, they didn't quite get to that time frame that they wanted, but they were honest. They said that they were trying to climb a mountain, and another mountain, and another mountain, and another mountain. And this headset could be the headset to beat this year. Why? Because already people who have seen it on their tour are walking away impressed that in some regards it's even better than Vario's Aero headset. The Vario Aero headset is considered one of the best headsets today on the market at the consumer level pricing. Why is it so good? Because they've done something that no one has done before them, and that is to get near to a human eye resolution. And that's quite impressive and a feat in itself. The hard part, of course, is keeping down that cost. With the Crystal, they're going way, way, way beyond just the vision. They're thinking about all the modular components that they can plug in. So similar to the Somnium, but it's all going to be, of course, by Pimax, so I don't see them open sourcing anytime soon. All right, and let's talk about the last headset that maybe you thought I was going to forget, and that's the Meta Quest 3. This is one that's expected to come out later this year and should have a lot of similar components to the Meta Quest Pro. This is the headset I think people have actually been waiting for. The Quest Pro for a lot of people was a big disappointment, mostly because of the price, and when you really look at it, not a lot different from the Meta Quest 2. I know a lot of you are saying, well, wait a second, that's not true. Look at all these things it can do, like color pass-through, and it can multitask. You're right, it can do all those things, but the chipset is only just a small shift better than what it is in the Quest 2 today. So it does make you wonder, so what about all those other headsets? For the most part, they're running the same Qualcomm chipset. So how are they better than the Quest 2? Well, they figured out that there's ways to definitely work on something that the Quest 2 wasn't able to when it first came out, and that's the ability of getting rid of heat. Heat is one of the biggest challenges for that kind of technology because you've got it in such a small space. If you get it too warm, it's going to shut down. Let's go ahead and wrap up this episode of There's More Than Just Meta VR News. If you haven't done so, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and click that bell for notifications for our next video that's coming out soon. Until next time, take care.